You know, we all experience those defining moments in life. That moment when something changes and you know it's never going to be the same. For me, one of those big moments happened last summer on my birthday when I received a call from my mother saying that my father was on the floor and she couldn't wake him up. We got him to the hospital and realized that he had fallen. He was working out in his yard and he fell and hit his head, and he passed away the next morning from a brain injury. And it was definitely one of those defining moments. I had spent all of my life working alongside my father, watching him have huge successes and watching him have some pretty significant failures and learning from each one. And so it was quite the experience to all of a sudden have him be gone. But what happened and what it's meant over this last year was very interesting. You know, we didn't necessarily build businesses saying that we were leaving a legacy. It's what we were doing. We just didn't realize that's what we were doing. We were doing it naturally when so many people are working at it. And, you know, we created a lot of businesses in his lifetime, in my grandfather's lifetime, in my lifetime, and sold several of those. But we still had several family companies when my dad passed away. And they had all been created in a way that he was not, you know, he didn't have to be involved in the day-to-day activities of any of those companies. And so when he passed away, and as a family we needed to be together, and we took that time off, those companies continued to run. They continued to make money. They continued to pay their employees, right? And then at the same time, we transitioned them to the next generation. And I tell the story often of another woman that passed away. She actually passed away 2 weeks before my dad did, and she owned a day spa here in town. When I left the funeral home and drove by the day spa, there was a for sale sign on the building and a chain on the door. Her company that she had invested 25 years of her life in was gone because she didn't create a legacy. And so I've spent this last year, first I have to say I was kind of shocked, right? I was shocked that not everyone builds businesses in that way. And then I started to ask questions of you guys. I talked to a lot of entrepreneurs and asked them what it meant to build a legacy business. Is that something that they wanted? What was it that they were wanting? And it was just fantastic. Actually, kind of amazing to hear how many people dreamed of creating that legacy. And for so many reasons. They wanted to leave something for their children. They wanted to leave something for the next generation. They wanted to make a difference in the world, right? And they wanted to have a great business and not have to work so hard, create the systems. But they were all wants. None of them were in the process of actually creating a legacy business. So I want you to take a look at what you're doing. Are you required to be in the day-to-day activity of every single piece of it, or the majority of it even, right? I want you to look at what it is that you're going to need to do to make that change, and are you willing to do it? Is there a big enough desire in you to take some risks, to take some action, to create a team that actually, and then give that team responsibility for what they're supposed to do? If I look at my business since my dad passed away, we have drastically expanded our team. It is amazing to really, to be on our team meetings, and it's no longer just, there were 3 of us back when my dad passed away, and now there are 8 of us. And they're coming up with marketing plans, and they're putting things in place, and I can sit there and just kind of listen to their ideas and determine whether they're right for the business and right for where we're headed, and that just is fantastic. Also, we have, we're systemizing, because when you look at a legacy plan, you have to get a real grasp on your systems. So we're in that process of getting everything systemized and into an operations manual and creating a duplicatable system, because until you have something that's duplicatable and can be handed to someone else to do, you do not have a legacy business. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes with you, share the story of my father, and ask you if you're ready to build a legacy business. I would really like to see you do that. And here's the thing. It's so very doable, right? It just is. You don't have to be alone anymore. All right. This is Michelle Sism, and I want to tell you this is one of the hardest videos I've ever made. But be decisive. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.